Corey Seager now available.
Get off easy.
First question from Dave Vassegh. Go ahead.
Hey, Corey, just curious how you feel the team's playing right now with only 9 games to go. Do you feel like that Padres series helped you guys get ready for the postseason, get that type of adrenaline?
Yeah, that was a big series. That's a good team. That's a team you'll see in the playoffs. That's the type of team you'll see in the playoffs. So being able to go in there and win 2 out of 3 and do what we needed to do was a good sign for us.
I'm curious from your standpoint this season, have you been able to enjoy your success more than maybe previous years?
It's not really something you really think about during the year. There's still a job at tasks. They're still winning the series. They're still trying to win the division and then worrying about the postseason. So there's not a whole lot of thought into that in the moment during the year.
Are you different in any way as far as your approach to the game than you were maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
No, pretty similar still. Pretty similar still. Not a whole lot different, trying to get ready for the game is pretty much the same. Maybe a little more after the game, a little more preparation that way, leading into the next day, but throughout the day, pretty similar.
Cool, thanks.
No, you're fine. I just started hearing an echo. It was weird.
Hey, Corey, you're not going to get off that easy.
Yeah, you heard me, huh?
Uh-huh.
Almost got out of here.
How have you been able to maintain your swing as well as you have this year to, be, I think it's third in baseball in terms of hard hit at bats and quality of contact?
A lot of that's just kind of health, being strong again, kind of being in very similar positions when I show up to the field, and last year especially, I just wasn't physically as strong as I'd like to been, and your body kind of changes, you get tired, things start changing positions on you. So just being strong again and being healthy again's definitely helped that.
Last night was another great example of you guys coming on in the late innings. And this year, from the 7th inning on, you have a plus 43 run differential. That's double what it was for the full season last year. What are the ingredients to go in to make that happen?
Just as much on our side, the hitting side, it's been our bullpen. Our bullpen's been really good. They've gotten stretched out a bunch here. We've had a couple bullpen games, and they've gone out and just absolutely done their job. And then from the offensive side, it's pretty similar. We've had the same mentality for a really long time. You don't have to be that guy every night. Pass the baton, move it along, and just grind out every beat and not give up anything.
What does that number tell you about your chances in October?
As long as you can keep doing it, that's a really good place to be. The back end of the bullpens are tough to score off of. So if you can have that advantage going into a postseason, that's a huge one.
Thank you, Corey.
Yep, thank you.
Next question is from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead.
Hey, Corey. You've been good against most pitches in general this year, but I think the home run yesterday was off a changeup, and I think your off-speed numbers in general have been a lot better this year. Was that any sort of concerted effort at all to be better against off-speed stuff?
Not really. That kind of goes back to the health thing. Just being able to be in good positions, being able to hold those positions and hold them longer, obviously, for off-speed pitches has just been a huge advantage for me this year. It's trusting it, knowing that it's there and it'll hold, and being able to go out and put good swings on balls.
Is there anything you feel like you and the entire team can kind of learn from postseasons past, just offensively, maybe the way you're attacked differently, or how much changes with the amount of time that teams kind of have to prepare for offenses?
Yeah, we've had experience with it. Every run counts. You can't always bank on the big swing. You gotta do the small things, run the bases well, move runners. There's a guy on third with less than 2 outs. You got to find a way to get him in. We have that experience. It's one of those things that you do throughout the year, but it's not as focused upon. So coming down to the last couple of games here, that's a big thing for us is working on those things and knowing how to do those in the moments when you need them.
And then you guys have gotten obviously a lot of different types of offensive producers this year, specifically with Will Smith and AJ Pollock. What has their production this year done for your offense?
It stretched us out. We have a really long lineup. We have a really deep lineup. A lot of guys that can do a lot of different things, and when everybody's clicking, it's a really good offense.
Next question is from Jack Harris. Go ahead.
Corey, when's the last time you felt this good, both just physically and with where your game's at entering a postseason?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I've been fortunate enough to be healthy the last couple of years, which has been nice. So that's just a confidence booster in general. Definitely a little better prepared physically this year than I was last year, which is also helpful. So just kind of hoping to be able to keep it going.
Having you and Mookie at the top of the lineup, the way you guys have played, especially the last 6 weeks, how different does that make you guys offensively as just a matchup problem for other teams in a potential postseason series, do you think?
I think our team's kind of a tough matchup spot. In years past, we've been dominant lefty, dominant righty, and people have kind of mixed and matched those pitchers. And this year, we can throw out every other guy if you need to, or have certain guys in certain positions. And I think just 1 through 9, we're a lot more prepared for everything this year going into the postseason.
Go ahead, Alden.
Hey, Corey, because Dodger Stadium is going to be one of the host venues in October, there's obviously going to be a lot of teams that are going to be playing some really meaningful games there next month. And within that, there's going to be a lot of players who are playing at Dodger Stadium for the first time in their careers. What would you say to those players about just maybe what to expect or what it's like playing at Dodger Stadium?
I can't give those secrets away. That's an advantage for them. I don't want to give them anything.
Next question is from Pedro Moura. Go ahead.
Hey, Corey, I know you've been asked about this in several variations, but I'm still curious about how you've adapted to the no in-game video 2 months in. Has this changed you as a hitter in any way that you think will hold, going forward?
Probably not. You definitely had to rely on feel a lot more. But sometimes feels are wrong. I go to look at the film after the game, and I thought I was doing one thing, and I really wasn't. So there's definitely a lot of ABs that if I had film, I would have been able to change things, and that's unfortunate with the times we're in and what's going on and not being able to have it.
Mm-hmm. How's your intuition, though, overall compared to what you might have expected, like in terms of being able to adapt in game?
I've always been a feel guy, so it's kind of almost helped me in that standpoint of having to trust it a little more than you would have in the past because, you have the film to go look at. But at the end of the day, you still want it and you still wish we had it. It's unfortunate that we don't.
Like if it's available on opening day next year after your first at bat, if it doesn't go the way you want to, you'll be checking.
100%.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Corey.